Kerala has completed its seroprevalence survey. Let's hear from the Health Minister what are the key findings from the seroprevalence survey. Ma'am, what are the key findings of it?
We have done a very good study on seropositivity, and we have found that above the age of 18, around 82.6% of the total population has developed antibodies in their body. And also, when it was conducted among pregnant women, almost 62.4% of the total population of the total pregnant women, 65.4%. So they have antibodies in their body, and also among children, the study was conducted, and the children between the age group of 5 and 17, and the seropositivity in their group is 40.2%. And also we have studied the seropositivity of people among tribal population and in the coastal belt, etc. So this is a very good study, and these are the initial data, and we are compiling this data, and a more detailed report will be published soon.
And ma'am, recently you had stated to the media that 7,000 more deaths, COVID deaths, will be included into the official list. Now there are critics which are saying like that it's a shocker, and state government is, because the opposition had tried to corner the government in terms of the figures, because there has been a chorus by the opposition also to include it for a very long time. So how do you respond to all these allegations that has been put against the government?
So regarding the COVID data, with the state of Kerala, it's quite, we are trying to be very transparent and clear, and we have started online uploading of deaths from June onwards. So there were some complaints that some of the deaths were not included in the official list. So Honorable CM and myself we have declared that we will examine it. And I have asked my officials like DHS, I've asked DHS to examine it, and see, one death, it's found, or it can be reported as a COVID death only if it has got a medical bulletin, or if it's a broad death, there should be an RT-PCR test result or lab test result. So the document should be there.
Death figures in Kerala, and 2 days back Kerala's health minister has now stated that 7,000 cases had gone unreported in the official data for, in fact, relevant records, and decided to add those 7,000 deaths in the records as well. This has now triggered a debate on fudging of COVID numbers. We have now on this broadcast the former ICMR scientist, that is Dr. Raman Gangakherkar, joining us as well to shed more light on COVID data. Thank you so much, Dr. Gangakherkar, for joining us here on Republic TV. My first question to you is, how do you now view these underreporting of COVID deaths in the state of Kerala?
It's a little surprising that the numbers that have come so late, in terms of the number of deaths that are being reported, because Kerala, traditionally, we tend to believe that death reporting tends to be delayed, or there could be underreporting in India. But Kerala has a robust health system compared to majority of the states in India. And despite that, if these numbers are missed, there is a cause of concern, and we need to look into it. But I would not go to a tune and say that the data is fudged. It is possible that the system responded either in a late manner, or perhaps there are issues that are related to death registrations.
In fact, Dr. Gangakherkar, there has been much speculation about these numbers, COVID numbers specifically, since the beginning of the pandemic. Do you also believe and think that there could be other states who could have also underreported or hidden their real scale of COVID-related deaths?
It's very difficult to make a sweeping statement. If you don't have evidence to that effect, neither can you say that there must be underreporting in other states, nor can you actually say that this has not happened in the states. But it is perhaps a reflection that if this is occurring in Kerala, then in those cases, other states also must be cautious and try to look within their system whether underreporting has occurred.
In fact, Dr. Ganga Khedkar, when we also spoke to other officials as far as the COVID data is concerned, they have spoken about some logistical issues that they were facing. So do you also believe that the entire COVID data collection could be centralized if such lapses are continued to being reported?
No, our data has to be, the data system has to be a central data system. There are no two opinions on that. One of the main reasons is all these states, though health is a state subject, all these states are part of India as a country. And anything that happens in a state, it has implications for what would happen in other states. Now, in those circumstances, data must be centrally collected for surveillance purposes, for reporting purposes of pandemic per se. So to me, data collection has to be central. And I think it has been happening in a better manner than we can imagine, or people tend to question that. But as I keep on saying, this doesn't mean it is happening in a perfect manner. There would be room to perhaps improve the data collection as well.
In fact, Doctor, talking about the current COVID situation in the country, India has reported a spike of over 18,132 new COVID cases. But Kerala itself has logged over 10,000 cases in a single day. What do you think are the shortcomings of the Kerala government in containing COVID spread?
I would still think that it is the vulnerability that Kerala tends to have. If you look at the 4th National Sero Survey, it was very clear that Kerala was the state which had the least of the prevalence of COVID antibody, which was around 44%. And if you look at the other states, they went right up to almost 80%. Now, what does this essentially mean? It also means that this particular state was perhaps less affected in the first wave. And now that Delta variant has come, which tends to spread very rapidly, perhaps